In previous session we are discussed about the laws of radiation, and now we'll see how the radiation heat exchange takes place between the two surfaces. Okay, it might takes place in the presence of a non-participating medium or participating medium. Before that we should know what is the enclosed surface. Then we can see how the radiation can be exchanged between the enclosure surface. Here we have taken the two examples. One is a sphere and the cuboid. First we should know what is the enclosure. Enclosure is nothing but a closed space where nothing can go outside. So now here the main term is the radiation. So whatever the radiation emitted from the surface, it cannot be go outside. Okay, whether it will reflect again to the same surface, again it will be observed, again it will be reflected, but everything will be observed in the complete a sphere or a cuboid. These are the two examples for the enclosure surface. Now we have to analyze of these enclosures made up of black surfaces. If the enclosure, let us take here the holosphere is a black surface, we have to analyze the radiations over there. So again here we can analyze for the black surfaces and we can analyze for the real surfaces. Okay, now first let us see for the black surfaces. We know that the black surface is nothing but which absorbs all the radiations falling on it at a same temperature, which emits maximum radiations. As we know that the surface which absorbs the more radiation can emit the more radiation, because good absorbers are the good emitters. Okay, now let us see the example here. There were the two surfaces, surface 1 and the surface 2 are parallel to each other. Now what is happening? The radiations which are emitting from the surface 1 are absorbing by the surface 2. In the same way, the radiations which are leaving the surface 2 are absorbed by the surface 1. That means more amount of the radiations which are coming are absorbing rather than leaving the surface. Okay, now if the orientation changes, that means if we place the surface 1 and 2 in a perpendicular position, then what will happen? There is a more chance of the radiations leaving to the environment. So how much amount? So which factor is controlling all these things? That we are going to learn, which is known as a shape factor or view factor or configuration factor. Generally everyone will use the term mostly view factor and the shape factor. Now we will see what is that shape factor. Okay, now let us say it is a black surface. So whatever here the surface 1 and 2 perpendicular each other, let us say that it is a black surface with temperature T. Okay, now I will find out the emissivity. What is the formula for the emissivity? We know that emissivity is nothing but a sigma into T power 4, because here the units of the emissivity is watt per meter square. Emissivity is nothing but a number of radiations per unit time per area. Okay, now if we write in terms of the Q, then what will happen? If you write in terms of watts, that is A into sigma T power 4. Q here means how much radiations surface 2 is absorbing or how much radiation surface 1 is emitting. So there were the two conditions. Surface 1 is emitting, all the surfaces will emit the radiation. First remember that all the surfaces will emit radiation. Okay, so surface 1, either it is a surface 1 emitting or surface 2 absorbing. In the same way, surface 2 is emitting, surface 1 is absorbing. Okay, now if you take from 1 to 2, so first 1 to 2 means 1 is emitting, 2 is absorbing. We will write the first one is the emitting part, second one is the absorbing part. So Q12 is nothing but F12. That means based on that orientation, only something will absorb or emit. That is F12 into A into sigma T power 4. The same way I will put the emissivity before this formula. Here we will put the F12. That is nothing but a shape factor or view factor which depends upon the orientation of the surface. So it is a geometrical attribute. Okay, so if you take from the q2 to 1, so now if you take from surface 2 is emitting, surface 1 is observing, then what will write? q21 is equal to f21 a2 sigma t2 power 4. Okay, remember that f12 or f21, the first term is the surface which is emitting the radiation, and the second term is the surface which is absorbing the radiation. Okay, now in case both the surfaces are in thermal equilibrium, what do I mean by thermal equilibrium? It means that the temperatures of both the surfaces are same. That means T1 is equal to T2 equal to T. So if T1 is equal to T2 is equal to T, then Q12 must be equal to the Q21. So substitute that Q12 is equal to Q21. If you cancel sigma T power 4, then we'll get the equation F12A1 is equal to F21A2. And this one we call it as a reciprocity theorem. When you will get this one? When both the surfaces are in thermal equilibrium and the radiation emitting between each other between two surfaces, then only we can apply this reciprocity theorem, that is A1 F12 is equal to A2 F21. Clear? Now let us see. So maximum value of the view factor is 1. Now here another point is, what is the range of this view factor or the shape factor? That is, range is 0 to 1 and it has no units. How you get the 0 to 1? That means if there is a two surfaces, whatever the surface 1 is emitting is completely absorbed by the surface 2 is means it is a maximum value will be a 1. That means 100 by, let us take the 100 incident radiations which are coming from the one surface, and same 100 radiations were absorbing by surface 2. 100 by 100 is nothing but a 1. So maximum range is a 1. Minimum range is the, if no incident radiation is absorbing, it means that 0. So the range is 0 to 1. Now next question is, till now what we have learned? The shape factor is in between the two surfaces. Now, can a surface have its own view factor, or can a surface have its own shape factor? Yes, it is. Okay, so let us see the example here. There were the three shapes. One is a flat, another one is a convex, or another one is a concave shapes. Okay, now if you see the concave shape, let us see concave shape here. What is happening? The radiations were emitting from the surface. Okay, let us say that all these surfaces will be tabulated as I, okay, or 1. So the surface 1 is emitting the radiations, and there is a chance of falling those radiations in the same surface. That means again the same surface is absorbing the radiations. Okay, so if you see this flat surface, see the radiations which are leaving the surface 1, but they were not again falling on the surface 1, because as we know that there were the electromagnetic waves, and these electromagnetic waves always move in a straight line. If you take in the convex also, there is no radiation again falling on the same surface, but in the concave surface there is a chance of falling the radiations in the same surface. That means if they are not falling, that we call it as a shape factor will be a 0. That means for flat and convex surfaces, the shape factor is 0. That means F11 or Fii is equal to 0 for flat and convex surfaces, whereas F11 or Fii is greater than 0. We don't know the value, but it will be a greater than 0 for concave surfaces, because there is a chance of falling the same radiations which are leaving from the same surface again. Okay, it is clear? So these are the features of, just I am telling the features of the shape factor. So we have to remember one thing is reciprocity theorem, A1 F12 is equal to A2 F21. Next feature is it will have a own shape factor, that is it's 0 for flat and convex surfaces, it is greater than 0 for concave surfaces. Okay, now see one of the example here. Okay, now consider the black surface, that is enclosure surface. Remember that we are learning from the enclosure surface which is having the same temperature. Now what we have to find out? We have to find out the emissivity. Now let us start with 1. Okay, so what we're doing first, we are taking a 1. That means first we have to take a 1 1, because maybe it has a own view factor 1 1, and from 1, though it is an enclosure one, that means no radiations are going outside. That means all the radiations will be observed in the inside itself. But the second surface and third surface and fourth surface and the fifth surface are sharing the radiations which are coming from the first surface. Is it clear? So what we have to write? We have to write E12. What is the E13, E14, E15? Okay. Now first one is E. What was the formula for E? That is shape factor into sigma into T power 4. But what is the shape factor F11? It is a 0. Why it is a 0? Because for the flat surfaces, F11 is equal to 0, as we learned in a previous note. Okay. Now that if F11 is equal to 0, E11 will become a 0. Now E12 will be there is some shape factor. Okay, F12 is equal to sigma into T power 4. That means which is leaving the radiations which is leaving from the surface 1 to the surface 2. E13 is F13 sigma T power 4. In the same way, we will write for the E14, E15 and so on. If you make it a generalized equation, we can write it as E1n is equal to F1n into sigma T power 4. Okay. Now let us see that this 2, 3, 4, 5 surfaces consider as a one surface, that is a X. Okay. Then what will be the equation? Same equation. E1x is equal to F1x sigma T power 4. Then what will happen to the F1x? It is an enclosure surface. The total radiations which are leaving from the surface 1 will be absorbed by the surface X. So what will happen? The maximum absorptivity is taking place. That means F1 is equal to 1. So we can write that E1x is equal to sigma T power 4. So if you do the algebraic additions of heat absorbed by all these, then we'll get the equation E1x equal to E11 plus E12 plus so on E15. Okay. Now substitute that value sigma T power 4, F11 sigma T power 4 plus F12 sigma T power so on F1 by sigma T power 4. Finally, we'll get the equation F11 plus F12 F15 is equal to 1. Here we said that it is the same temperature, so all T's will get cancelled. If you write in a generalized form, F11 plus F12 so on F1n is equal to 1. This we call it as a summation rule. Okay. So two things. One is the reciprocity theorem, another one is a summation rule, which are very important. Okay. Now let us see how we will apply these two rules in some example. Now let us take a cavity, and this cavity is a closed. Let us take this cavity surface is 1 and it is emitting the radiations to the surface 2. Okay. Again, this surface 2 will also emit some radiation and it will be absorbed by the surface 1. So what will be the summation rule? As there is a two surfaces, F11 plus so on F1n. Only two surfaces means F11 plus F12 is equal to 1. So we are writing from the surface 1. If we write from the surface 2, what will happen? F21 plus F22 is equal to 1. Okay. So, but we know that F21, what will happen to the F21? F21 will become 1. Why? Because F22 is equal to 0. Why F22 is equal to 0? Because F22 is equal to 0 because it is a flat surface. For the flat surface, the shape factor is equal to 0, that we already learnt. So if we substitute F22 is equal to 0, F21 will become a 1. Now apply reciprocity theorem because it is a black body. So we can apply the A1 F12 is equal to A2 F21. From that, F12 can be written as A2 by A1. We will put in terms of areas. If they given the areas, you will substitute the areas. Okay. Or f11 is equal to 1 minus a2 by a1. Clear? Now let us see the problems given in our textbooks. Okay, so here I have taken one problem, that is calculate the shape factors for the configurations. So they have given the different configurations and they were asking to find out the shape factors. The first one is a black body inside a black enclosure. Okay, so they are considering the black body inside a black enclosure. So it is completely enclosure. So let us say that enclosure is a 1 and the black body is 2. Again here the two surfaces, we can write that f11 plus f12 is equal to 1, f21 plus f22 is equal to 1. Okay, now what will happen to the f21? F21 will become a 1 because because it is surface 1 is an enclosure surface, all the radiations which are leaving the 2 will be absorbed by the 1. That means there is a maximum value. Complete absorbability is nothing but a 1. So f21 is equal to 1. Again apply reciprocity theorem, a1 f12 is equal to a2 f21. So by that we can write f12 equal to a2 by a1 into f21, but we know that f21 is equal to 1. So f12 is equal to a2 by a1. And nothing but we can write in terms of a ratio, area ratio is nothing but a f12. If you want a f11, substitute f11. f11 is equal to 1 minus f12, but we know that f12 is equal to a2 by a1. So f11 is equal to 1 minus a2 by a1. Clear? So now let us take another example, a tube with cross section of an equilateral triangle. Okay, so they have given some equilateral triangle, that is 1, 2, 3. That means there are 3 surfaces. Write down the summation rule, f11 plus f12 plus f13 is equal to 1. What will happen to the f11? Consider f from the f11. So f11 will become a 0 because it is a flat surface. The shape factor will be a 0. Then f12 plus f13 equal to 1. As the 2 and 3 were be a symmetry, simply we can write it as a f12 is a 0.5, f13 is a 0.5. If it is a third one is hemispherical surface and a plane surface. Okay, now consider that it is a hemispherical surface. This is a surface 1 and it will be a surface 2 and the radiuses are again 2 surfaces. Right, f11 plus f12 is equal to 1, a1 f12 is equal to a2 f21. So f21, what will happen to the f21? f21 will become a 1 because if anything is emitting from the surface 2, it will completely absorb by the 1 because it is a closed hemispherical surface. So everything will be absorbed. So f21 is equal to 1. f12 will become a a2 by a1 into 1. So if they were given the radius r, so a2, what will happen? a2 surface will be surface a2 will be a pi r square, a1 sphere is a 2 pi r square. So that is a f12 is equal to 0.5. Okay, hope you understood that. We'll go for the next problem. Okay, so this is a next type of problem. See, in the figure the areas a1 and a2 are perpendicular but do not share the common edge. Find the shape factor f12 for the arrangement shown. So here they have given some figure, and see that figure they have given the areas a1 a2 and this actual ones are the a1 and the a2, but they are not sharing the common edge. But we know all these formulas only when we share the common edge. So for that what we are doing, we are evaluated by using the hypothetical areas. That means we are trying to get a common edge by introducing another 2 areas, that is a3 and the a4. Now both the surfaces are perpendicular to each other, so we can apply whatever applied till now. Okay, so they have given some dimensions. Okay, now see, a1 and the a2 areas they were given, because they don't have the common edge, we have put the hypothetical areas a3 and the a4. So combinedly a3 plus a1 we can write it as a a5, and combinedly a6, a2 plus a4 can be written as a a6. Now by reciprocity method, we will write first a5. So a5, what will happen, this is a edge, so a5 f5 6, what will be the shape factor, f into, in the same way a1 into f1 to we have written, now a5 into f5 6 is equal to, what will happen here, a1 into f1 6, and this again they were divided into two areas in this a1 into f1 6 plus a3 into f3 6. Okay, same thing, we know that a1 f1 is equal to a2 f2 1. So in the same way write down a5 f5 6, this can be divided into a1 f1 6 plus a3 f3 6. Okay, now again we will write this a1 f1 6. So how we can write this, a1 f1 6 can be written as a1 f1 4 plus a1 f1 2, because 6 again divided into 4 and 2. So I am writing in terms of f1 4 and f1 2. Again I am putting this a3 into f3 6 as a common, because this is a common sharing edge, so we are not changing. Next, what will happen, again we are making it, see here we can write a1 f1 4. How can we write this, a1 into f1 4, that is a5 f5 4 minus a3. So if you want to 1 4, if you subtract a3 from the a5, that means 5 4 minus 3 4, then we will get the 1 4. Next a1 f1 2 plus a3 f3 6. Okay, therefore bring this a1 f1 to this side and take this a5 f5 6 this side, so we will get some equation. Now we need the shape factor. So if you want to find out this, we need the shape factors of 5 6 3 4 5 4 then 3 6, and this can be solved by using a data book. So as it is a perpendicular rectangles, we'll go for the perpendicular rectangles in the data book. The data book I have, in that the page number is 95. Okay, now I will show in the data book there will be like this shape factor f1 to perpendicular rectangles. So these are the perpendicular rectangles and these are the values given. So now here see, first we have to find out the z and the y. Z is nothing but a L2 by b and y is nothing but a L1 by b. Okay, so same here, surfaces, for what surfaces we have to find out, a5 6, a3 4, a5 4 and a3 6, z by x. Okay, here b value will be that x value will be a 2 meter, and this value will be a 4 meter, and this value will be a 4 meter. Okay, total length. Okay, so what is the first z, L2 by b, z by x is L2 by b. So for 5 6, what will be the value, 5 6, so if it is for the 5 6, so 5 to 6, so what will be the value, 4 by 2, so we will put the 4 by 2. If it is the 3 4, 3 to 4, what is the value, 2 by 2, that is a 1. For the same way find out L2 by b, in the same way L1 by b, that will be written as z by x into y by x. Now what we get answers, 2 2. So now see, z by x is 2, where I have written z by x is 2 and y by x is 2. This 2 and this 2, if you see there, the value is 0.14930. So 0.14930, we can simply write it as a 0.15. If you say 1 1, so see the value at 1 1, here the 1, horizontally 1, take vertically 1, what is the constant value, 0.2. So same thing we will write the 0.2. So in that way we have to take the shape factors for all the areas, because we want to find out the shape factor for 1 to 2. In between the 1 to 2 we have to find out the shape factor for 1 to 2. In between 1 to 2 we have taken some hypothetical areas. So for all these things we have to find out the shape factors by using a data book. So what we have to do, substitute all the values here. Areas, what is the area? A1 area, A5 area, A3 area, A5 area. So substitute everything, you will get F12 value is equal to 0.05. This is how we calculate the shape factor. So again I am telling, see, once revise, they have given two areas but they don't share a common edge, but we have the values only for the perpendicular surfaces which shares the common edge. So in order to get that one, we have evaluated two hypothetical areas, A3 and the A4, and we are writing the shape factor equation accordingly to connect A1 and the A2. So for all these things, for the shape factors, by using a data book, we are finding L2 by B and L1 by B. So by taking the values, we are taking the values from the data books. So once refer to the data book, you will understand how you got here. So if you substitute all the values, you will get the final answer, what is the shape factor. Clear? Now again I have taken another example, that is for the perpendicular surfaces. Now here a 70 mm thick metal plate. So this is a metal plate with a circular hole of 35 mm diameter along the thickness is maintained at a uniform temperature. So it is a uniform temperature. Find out the loss of energy to the surroundings at 27 degrees centigrade. The surrounding temperature is 27 degrees centigrade. Assuming the two ends of the walls to be as parallel discs. So before problem we have seen the perpendicular surfaces, now it is a parallel disc. And the metallic surfaces and surroundings have black body characteristics. So as we know that we are reading everything for the black body till now, so consider it as a black body characteristics. So they have given length equal to 70 mm, so write it on meters, and R2 R3 same 35 by 2 is equal to 17.5 mm, convert into a meters. So what they asked, total loss of energy. What is the total loss of energy? The loss of heat by both the ends, because there were the two ends. So 2, 3. That means we are getting here, what is the formula? We know that F1 shape factor into sigma A T power 4 is our formula. Here two sides, one is 1 to 2, another one is a 1 to 3. So write down area A1 into F12 sigma T1 power 4 minus T surrounding power 4 plus A1 F13 sigma T1 power 4 minus T surrounding power 4. So if you combine, as it has a uniform temperature, so we can write it as a 2A1 F12, because both of the symmetry, F12 is equal to F13. So 2A1 F12 sigma T1 power 4 minus T s power 4. Now how to find out this 1, 2 is the important thing. Now write down F12, first write the summation rule. We'll take from the 2, F21 plus F22 plus F23 is equal to 1. F22 is equal to 0 because it is a flat surface. So then F21 will become 1 minus F23. Again here we have to use the data book to find out the F23, because we don't know F223. Okay, we have to find out that value by using a data book if it is a parallel discs. Okay, so for that again go to the data book. We have a shape factor coaxial discs of different radius. Okay, and here x-axis will be L by R2 and y-axis will be a shape factor. These curves are the R1 by L. We don't know F12, we have to find out the F12. If you want F12, we have to find out what is the R1 by L and L by R2. If you know these two values, then you will get to F12. So find out what is L by, they are given 1, but what is R values 2 and 3. So L by R2 and R3 by L. So we got two values, that is 4 and 0.25. L by R2 is 4. L by R2, here L by R2 is 4 and R1 by L is 0.25. So for 0.25, if you see, you will get the value nearly 0.06. So how we get the 0.06? If you substitute that value, you will get the F21. Now we know the reciprocity theorem, A1 F12 is equal to A2 F21. By that we can get a F12. Okay. If you substitute the areas, you will get a, if you substitute the areas, you will get a F12 is equal to 0.1168. If you substitute all the values in this total loss of energy, finally we'll get the answer 6.8 watts. Is it clear? So this is all about the significance of the shape factor. Okay. Next, it is all about the only a black